So first we're going to talk about cannabis at the U.S. border.
Yeah. So this has been a topic that's caused a lot of confusion among a lot of people, so it's not surprising we've got questions about it. The U.S. has a lot of laws that can exclude people, and when you try and cross the border, the questions you get can be wide-ranging, and we know that some of the questions people have gotten in the past have involved, have you smoked before, or do you have involvement in the cannabis industry? It's a bit of a moving target right now. Just on Tuesday, the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol updated their website. The best information we have comes from that website right now about how they'll be treating people with involvement in the cannabis industry. So right now it seems like they're saying if you're traveling to the U.S. and you have involvement in the cannabis industry, but the reason you're going to the U.S. has nothing to do with your work or the cannabis industry, you generally will be admissible. So that still leaves a lot of wiggle room. And basically, it's going to be hard to say what people are facing at the border. And they definitely still reserve the right to refuse admission if you've used cannabis in the past. So that question that people might get at the border, have you used cannabis in the past, may still lead to issues for people trying to get into the U.S.
So how do you answer that question?
Well, first of all, you never lie. That is another reason for them to refuse you admission. So don't lie. If you do say and truthfully say, yes, I've used cannabis in the past or, in the recent past, they could still decide to let you in. If they don't let you in, there's a process that you can go through to get an admissibility waiver, but you won't be going in that day. You can also say, I choose not to answer that question and then withdraw your application essentially to enter the U.S. And try again later. But either way, they're going to have a record of the fact that you came to the border and what you did or didn't say. So it is going to place people in a difficult situation.
It seems that the type of question and application at the whim of the individual border guards could be applied in a prejudicial manner to people of color, poor-seeing people, etc.
Yeah, anytime we have people in a position of authority who are given a lot of discretion, there is a risk, and there often is selective enforcement, which lends to itself to discrimination. What we've seen in the past is that definitely they're not asking everybody who comes to the border if they've used marijuana in the past. The people they tend to target, or at least the stories we hear about, are people who in their social media profile or in their job have a lot to do with cannabis, or people going to music festivals. Definitely if your car smells like cannabis or they see any drug paraphernalia in your car, that's going to be a trigger for them to ask. But certainly, they are looking for some kind of heightened suspicion. And how they define that suspicion, who they choose to pull over and ask further questions to, is really up to them. And so, yes, up to abuse.